الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وعلى أزواجه أمهات المؤمنين وعلى الصحابة أجمعين والتابعين وتابعيهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وعنا معهم بفضلك ومنك وكرمك يا أكرم الأكرمين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Indeed, all praise due to Allah. We praise Him, seeking His assistance, His forgiveness, and His guidance. We seek refuge with Allah from the evil of ourselves and from our bad deeds. Whomsoever Allah guides, nothing can misguide. And whomsoever Allah misguides, nothing can guide. I bear witness and testify that there is no God but Allah. And I bear witness and testify that Muhammad is Allah's slave and messenger. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Brothers and sisters, in Islam, this khutbah, inshaAllah, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to benefit us all from it and to do all what is going to come in it. Brothers and sisters, we are today in the day of 27th of the month of Dhul-Qa'dah. Why I say that? Because we are 2 days away, or maximum 3 days away, from the best days in life ever. The best days of the year. The best days in the life of the Muslim, which we are going to talk about, which they are the 10 days of the month of Al-Hijjah, Al-Ashr al-Awa'il min the Al-Hijjah. These days, the value of these days are documented in the Quran, and there is a lot of evidence for the value of these days in the Sunnah. So inshallah, we are going to talk about the importance of these days and the good deeds on these days and how Allah multiplied the good deeds in these days like no other days of the year, in the year at all. So, as we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen some times to be sworn about or to be sacred times. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen Ramadan to be one of the greatest months and chosen the night of the Qadr to be the best night. Chosen the night to be the best time to do salah in rather than the faridah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also has chosen some places to be sacred, to be muharram, to be valuable, like Mecca, like Medina, ala sakiniha afdal salatu wassalam, like Bayt al-Maqdis, Masjid al-Aqsa and Bayt al-Maqdis, and many other places. So also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen these days, and He sworn by these days in Surah Al-Fajr, Surah number 89. He said, "Wal Fajr وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ. By the dawn and the 10 nights. So if someone may ask, okay, there are nights, why do you say the best days? Because, brothers and sisters, in Islam, the day starts from after the sunset immediately, the new day. The new day is not after 12 o'clock, after midnight. This is what people do and deal with. But the new day always starts immediately after the sunset. So the night always comes before the day in the Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always say, always the layl comes before nahar. So in order to the benefit that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us in these days to be 24 hours, if I may say, not 12. If I say only day, it's 12 hours. But when we say nights, so the day of starting from immediately after the sunset all the way to the next sunset, that's whole 24 hours. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in hadith that narrated by Bukhari, ما من أيام العمل الصالح فيهن أحب إلى الله من هذه الأيام العشر. The Sahaba said, ولا الجهاد في سبيل الله. فقال صلى الله عليه وسلم ولا الجهاد في سبيل الله إلا رجلا خرج بنفسه وماله فلم يرجع من ذلك بشيء. That's how great these days are. Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, there are no days during which the righteous action, good deeds, is so pleasing to Allah than these days, the 10th of the Hijjah. He was asked, O Messenger of Allah, not even jihad in the cause of Allah? He replied, not even the jihad in the cause of Allah, except in case one goes with his life and his money and property in the cause of Allah, and he never returned with any of those. Means he sacrificed himself and his money and his property, everything he owned, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the only deed that could be more beloved to Allah than any small deed to be done in these days. We know now how great are these days. So what do we do in these days? Of course, before we say that, these days, why these days and nights are so great? I mean, why not? They have the day of An-Nahr, the day of sacrifice, the greatest days for the Islam. And before that, the day of Arafah. Why the day of Arafah? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has perfected our deen in it and accepted Islam to be our deen. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. The table, the matter. Today I have perfected your religion. I have perfected the religion for you and completed my favor upon you, and I chose Islam to be your religion. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So what do we do in these days? Number one, I'm going to do a quick listing and talk about some of these listings. Number one, inshallah, when these days are approaching, when these days are coming, we have to do number one, repent, tawbah. We have to do tawbah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A sincere tawbah subhanahu wa ta'ala from any sins that we used to do before and stop doing it, no matter what it is. Number two, you do a lot of salah. I don't mean the 5 obligations. These are no question about them. What I meant is the rawatib, the sunan after the salah, more than nawafil, do more nawafil, do more of qiyamul layl. The reward of this is so enormous from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 3, fasting. And the least of the fasting, the least is to fast the day of Arafah. Some people used to can fast them, all of them, 10 of them. Some would say, well, there is nothing in the Sunnah that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam fast those 10. Yes, there is. There isn't. Like the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, she said, I never seen Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam fast those days. But don't see him, it doesn't mean that he wasn't. Because fasting is not to be observed. It doesn't mean that he wasn't. So, but Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he said the good deed in these days, fasting is a great good deed. So you can do 1 day, 2 days, you can do Monday, Thursday, you can do them all, it's up to you, but do not leave the day of Arafah. Day of Arafah is very, very important, brothers and sisters, because it has a lot of good. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will abolish, will forgive the sins of 1 year before and 1 year after, which is the rest of the year we are in. And also in this day, the day of Arafah, since we are talking about it, the dua, you need to make a lot of dua for yourself. I mean, who is amongst us doesn't need anything? Who is amongst us is 100% self-sufficient of everything? I don't think any one of us. We all need something more. We need good health. We need our kids to be good. We need our kids to be saved and protected from what's going around us. Make dua for this, please, because that thing is coming. So please take care of your kids. Make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect them. Don't forget, we have a lot of things around us we need to be protected from. We need good health. We need a good family, good wife, good house, good home, good car. Why not? I mean, a lot of money. Why not? Why not? Do dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because the dua actually is showing that the one who making the dua is a good slave to his master. He's telling his master, oh my master, I'm always relying on you. And the one who is not making dua, Allah consider him as an arrogant. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ عَنْ عِبَادَتِي سَيَدْخُلُونَ جَهَنَّمَ دَاخِرِينَ. No one is when anyone who don't make dua, Allah consider him arrogant. So we always need to do dua to tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we are always relying on you, our Lord. Other thing, charity. Paying charity in these days. داووا مرضاكم في الصدقة. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, heal your sick people or your ill persons that you know, or even yourself, with sadaqah, with charity. It's the best thing to heal yourself with. So that's in the normal days. What about in these days? Do charity, whether in or out. Send outside to your country. $100 will make us. You will make family of 5 or 6 will make them happy for a whole month. $50 or $100. And imagine if this happened, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to do for you. Also, Qiyamul Layl, as we said, that Yawm al-Nahr, the day of sacrifice, is the greatest day of the year, which is in this 10, and which is the Eid al-Adha. Allah said, فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ. Because the kuffar in Quraysh, they were sacrificing to the idols. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, pray for your Lord and do your sacrifice to Him. Therefore, to thy Lord, turn in your worship and sacrifice. قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Say truly, my worship and my sacrifices and my life and my death are all for Allah, the Lord of all lords. And that day, Yawm al-Nahr, the best act the Muslim can do is to shed a blood of a sacrifice for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إراقة دم. أحب الأعمال إلى الله في هذا اليوم إراقة دم. And why is that day so important, Yawm al-Nahr? Because a lot of worships is happening, gathered in one day, that could not be gathered in any day ever in the year. Many worships. So count with me if you want. There is Salatul Eid, the worship of Eid. There is the sacrifice animal, al-Udhiyah. And Udhiyah called Udhiyah because it is the time of it is in the duha of the day of sacrifice. That's how it is. And also slaughter animals as corrections of something wrong the Hajj has done in the Hajj. There is tawaf in it. There is sa'i. There is throwing stones. All of these worships are in one day, which they never found except in that day. So that's how is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala multiply the rewards in this day. We said the prayers, the fasting, the charities. Don't forget the tahleel, the tahmeen, the tasbih. La ilaha illallah walhamdulillah. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. And make a lot of it, a lot of it. And repeat after the mu'adhin who do the adhan. Don't forget to repeat. There is a great reward in that. Make a lot of istighfar and make a lot of salah upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Make 100,000, as much as you can, until your mouth becomes dry. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. This is something easy to say, but there's a lot of rewards for it. Reading the Quran and know the explanation of it. Ask or read. Let the kids memorize Fatiha. Let your kids at home memorize the Fatiha. Be good to parents. Obey them. Never make them unhappy. Family links, family ties. When I say family ties, it doesn't mean father and mother, brother and sisters. No, these are out of question. They are must. But the family ties, aunts, uncles, far family ties. Grandmas, grandfathers. All kind of relatives. Being good neighbor to your neighbors. Also this, say salam alaikum every time you find your brother. Feed the poor and needy. Not only that, feed even the not poor and needy. Send food to your friends, to your family. Talk nicely. Salat al-Duha in the Fajr. After Fajr, you make Salat al-Duha. And a lot of good deeds you can do in these days that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala multiply the rewards to the limit that you could never imagine that this could be happen to you. وفقني الله وإياكم وإياكم إلى ما يحب ويرضى. استغفر الله. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Brothers and sisters, I don't have much time, but I need to talk about something very important in those days. Inshallah, we could talk maybe afterwards in some halaqah, but I need at least to talk about the Udhiyah. Many of us, they don't know exactly what the Udhiyah is and what are its conditions and how it should be done. Or you need to increase your education or knowledge about it. Udhiyah is that the animal that we sacrifice for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Yawm al-Nahr, the day of sacrifice, which is the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah, the best day ever in the year. And I said it called udhiyah because it is in the duha, the time is in the duha of that day. This udhiyah has to be from certain animals. You can do any animal. It is like sheep, goat, camels, and cows. Camels is out of question here, so you have 3. A sheep, goat, cow in here. No else. You cannot do deer, you cannot do chicken, you cannot do anything else. And this udhiyah sacrifice is for us to remember the trial of Ibrahim alayhi salam, that he was ordered by dream to sacrifice and slaughter his son. And Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed this agony from Ibrahim alayhi salam and gave him a sacrifice 2 big sheep. So, and this is also, from there, we are still doing it. Like 2,500 years ago that happened, or 3,000 years ago. We are still doing until today. So that shows you that we are, alhamdulillah, in the right religion. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Out of this also, the udhiyah has to be fat, has to be good health. Doesn't have to be any defects in it. Doesn't have to be one-eyed or blind, or the ear is cut, or even the ear is split a little bit, or one of the horn is gone, or one of the legs is not functioning, or is very skinny. It has to be, when you look at it, you go amazed. My God, how beautiful this animal is. So please do that and do not choose the sick animals. So these animals has to have certain age. So for that, we don't want to talk about camels. Cows, it should be completed 2 years plus 1 day minimum. 2 years minus 1 day cannot be accepted. 2 years plus 1 day. Goat, 1 year plus 1 day. You cannot go less than 1 year. Sheep, 1 year plus 1 day. Only sheep, there is exception. In the sheep only. If you couldn't find that age in a sheep, that 1 year and 1 day, you can, alhamdulillah, sacrifice a sheep with 6 months plus 1 day. 6 months plus 1 day you can. So these are the conditions and how your udhiyah has to be. And brothers and sisters, anyone who can afford that, he has to do it. I mean, it's not fard, but it's a great sunnah emphasized by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So imagine if all of us here make udhiyah, wow, we will be having a lot of meat. We will be having a lot of happy days to come, you know, and also the poor and the needy. So please do it, and it's the best thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes in that day, and it has to be sacrificed after Salatul Eid and until the sunset of the day of the 13th of the Hijjah. Some ulama say the days of the 14th of the Hijjah, but it's stronger said of the day of the 13th of the Hijjah. And if this sacrifice happened before that or after that, it's not a sacrifice, it's just a meat you are giving to your family to make it happen. Just a meat. How many zabiha, how many qurbani should I make in my family? Just one. It's not right that people say you have to make one for yourself, one for your wife, one for kids. No, it's just one. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sacrificed two great rams. And he said, this one is for Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. And this one is for the poor people of my ummah that they cannot sacrifice until the day of judgment. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He was always care about us. There's something relating to the one who's want to make udhiyah. Brothers and sisters, anyone who is planning to make udhiyah, he needs to do something, which is sunnah. I mean, if he didn't do it, it's okay. But it is sunnah, which are he should not, from the very moment before the first day of the Hijjah, he can do before the first day of the Hijjah, he can clip his nail, he can shave, he can clean himself very well, and then when the day of the Hijjah comes and he is to make udhiyah, he should not after that take from his hair, from his nail, or all these days. He shouldn't do anything as if he is in Mecca doing Hajj. To imagine himself, he is Hajj. And to imagine himself in the difficulty, to put himself in the difficulty of the Hajj. Why is that? Ulama said because when he sacrificed the animal, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will release all his body, all his part of his body from that fire. Allah يعتق كل بدنه من النار. يعتق كل بدنه. So if you take the nails of these nails are not going to be released because they are going to fall in the ground. So leave everything on your body, everything leave it, so you will be saved from the hellfire with all of your body. One thing is very important, I said mostly for the people behind the screen, because here the sacrificing has special job to be done. Somebody else will do it. It's a complete package you take. But outside there are people who work in the alleys to slaughter. They're asking people, anyone who wants to slaughter. This man, he is slaughtered the sheep against pay. So it is haram to give him part of the udhiyah or the hide of it as his fare, as his money. Haram. You have to give him his, what you agreed with him, like $50, $100, whatever. And then, if you want to give him some of the meat, fine. If you want to give him the hide, if you don't want it, you have to give the hide to him for free. You should not ask for anything for the hide of the dhabiha. I finished with something. Some people ask, can we sacrifice a female sheep or female goat or a female cow? The answer is yes. It's yes. It doesn't have to be always as a male sheep or male. Another question, do we eat from it? Yes, of course. You have to eat from it. It's yours. You eat, feed your family, and then give qurbani, give presents to your neighbors, your friends, whatever you want. Inshallah. And the best divided for that is thirds. 1/3 for yourself, 1/3 for your family, and relatives, and 1/3 for your friends. اللهم إنا نسألك فعل الخيرات وترك المنكرات وحب المساكين. اللهم إذا أردت بعبادك فتنة فاقبضنا إليك غير مفتونين يا رب العالمين. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته، ولا هما إلا فرجته، ولا دينا إلا قضيته، ولا مريضا إلا شافيته وعافيته يا رب العالمين، ولا ميتا إلا رحمته يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أحينا ما كان في الحياة خيرا لنا، وأمتنا ما كان في الممات خيرا لنا. ربنا اغفر لنا ولآبائنا ولأمهاتنا ولمشايخنا وإلى كل من له حق للمسلمين علينا يا رب العالمين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا